is dreaming. If he opens his eyes, he will not see us anymore. If he wakes up, we will cease to exist. If we stop playing to him, he will have nightmares.
Greetings and welcome to Geek Legion of Doom, where today I'm bringing you my review of the 2021 folk horror The Pond. So this movie is actually from Serbia, although it is entirely in English, so just warning for my terrible pronunciation. This is written by Stefan Andrzejic and Dusan Bulik, and the director is Peter Passage. Okay guys, so this is going to be a difficult movie to review for you. It is a very difficult movie to get. I will try my best without spoilers here. So this movie follows a professor who has been sacked from the university at which he works. He believes he is on the edge of just a world-changing discovery. I can't really go into detail about what that is without giving you an aspect of the movie. That is best to discover for yourself. So he actually moves with his partner and his daughter to a very remote Balkan area to continue to work on this research. It's very clear he has recently lost his wife and he's not really over this loss. So he is out in this very remote area obsessing over his research and trying to prove his hypothesis. So that is basically what sets up the base of our movie. So through the course of the movie, the professor meets several different people who are they're reoccurring characters, and what they do each time they meet is very similar, almost repetitive in a way. There is a gentleman he plays chess with. There is a boatman that takes him to and from a little island that he works on every day. There are a couple of little girls. We obviously have his daughter. There are individuals that look a bit strange. I don't really want to go into a lot of detail. I want you to watch it for yourself. And we don't really understand the meaning behind these individuals. It's all very, very confusing. This review will seem very vague, because it's very difficult to come away from this movie with a very coherent view of what it's about. I had hints while I was watching it. I kind of have an interest in anthropology, in religion, in philosophy, and that does help when watching this. If you do have that interest and you do understand certain symbology about certain things, this movie will make a lot more sense to you. I do feel that a lot of people are going to walk away from this movie very, very confused. It is very vague. It doesn't have a really cohesive narrative throughout. It's just extremely confusing. That's the only thing I will say. You're watching scenes and you're not understanding why people are doing the things they're doing. There are individuals in one scene putting paper bags on their head with faces drawn on, and you're, what? Why? You've no idea why they're doing it, and it doesn't seem to make much sense to the story. Now, even though, since I've watched the movie, I've kind of researched exactly what it was about, and even though I did get a bit of it, still a lot of the movie makes no sense to me whatsoever. So I would say about this movie, the premise of what it is actually about is extremely intriguing. It's something that I do feel could have been handled a little bit more basically. I do feel we use too much symbology here. Things are too confusing. A lot of what is trying to be done here is going to be lost on the average person. If you have to research what something's meant to have meant, I feel that maybe they failed in how they executed what they were trying to do. Now, I do feel maybe with the second watch I may get more from the movie, and I may do that. It was quite difficult to get through though, so I'm not sure if I will, because I was just utterly confused through most of this movie. Now, I will say in the positive sense, it's an extremely intelligent movie. It's very highbrow. The cinematography is absolutely stunning. The use of colour, the use of light and dark is beautiful. This is a wonderfully shot movie. It looks fantastic. The acting is hit and miss. There are a couple of particular people in this that the acting is really bad. I'm not going to name individuals. I don't think that's fair, but if you watch it, I think you will see that for yourself. I have since read that a lot of the dialogue was meant to be stilted. In places it does feel like the characters are reading from a script and not trying to articulate themselves as a conversation. Now, if that was meant to come across as reading off a page in a stilted manner, it did, but I don't understand the reasoning for that. I don't understand how that plays into the overall story. Now, you're probably watching this thinking, what on earth is this movie about? She's not telling me anything. She's been too vague. I don't know if I want to see this or not. because you probably will watch this and come away at the end feeling exactly the same way. This movie is a folk horror, but to me it's more of a drama. It does have kind of eerie elements here and there. Now, I have seen The Witch and I've seen The Wicker Man, and I love both. I'm a fan of a slow burn. I like something with a story to build up, to get going. But this movie, even though it has really eerie symbology in places, it has beautiful cinematography. It looks fantastic. And there are certain scenes that you think, that's really effective, but I don't understand why you're doing it. I just feel your average person is going to come away from this movie utterly confused. The basic premise, as I said, of what they are actually trying to represent and trying to do is extremely interesting. And I would love to see this premise put across in a way that your average person would actually get and understand. Having researched the movie after having watched it and considering watching it again, I do still feel there are aspects that play in my mind that I don't see how that ties in. And if you have to have gone to university and had a degree in anthropology or, I don't know, in religion to actually understand what a movie's trying to say, then I do feel it has failed in some level. I'm really conscious to not want to be too critical about the movie because I do understand that it's very well shot, it looks beautiful, it does come across as being very intelligent, very highbrow movie, but I do feel it's going to lose a lot of people along the way. If you want something that's cohesive, that has a linear line at all, I mean, you have movies like Memento, and for a lot of the movie you're really like, what the hell is going on here? But it all ties together beautifully, and then you watch it again and you can understand everything that's happening. It all makes sense. That's not going to be the case for this movie. I do feel your average person will be completely confused. When it ends, they will be looking for the answers that they thought was coming that never really come. So yes, I would recommend the avid movie watcher to watch this, give it a go, see what you make of it, see if you can make sense of it, whether you feel that it put across what it's about properly. I would be really interested to hear in the comments if you've seen this and what your take is on it. If you agree with what I said, if you do feel it's confusing, the narrative just isn't cohesive at all. What you felt about the acting and the sort of stilted sort of performance, do you feel that was purposeful or was it just bad acting? I'm really torn with this movie because I do see it's extremely well made. I do see it looks wonderful, and I feel very doubtful that a movie with so much thought and so much intelligent thought would be producing acting that's subpar. So perhaps that bit's been lost on me a little bit, but I'd be so interested to hear anyone else that's watched this. If I had to rate The Pond out of 10, I'm afraid I can't go any higher than a 5. That 5 I give for how it looked and certain eerie scenes that it created, but I can't go much higher because I honestly came away not having a clue what the movie I just watched was about, and that was difficult. So 5 out of 10 from me. We'd love to know what you think below in the comments, and thank you for watching. We look forward to speaking to you next time.